Shalom, friends. Last week for Parshat Bo, we discussed the Rebbe's drasha in Eish Kodesh, where he talked about the nature of the meaning of Sod, of what is Kabbalah, Jewish mysticism, what is Sod, what is the secrets of the Torah, and how he wrote there, and I said in other places that Sod is sort of the secret meaning that the Torah reveals to me when I read between the lines, the kind of personal message. And then I saw that in Derech HaMelech Beshalach for this week's Parsha from 1930, so going 12 years before the drush we spoke about last week, he gives us somewhat of a different interpretation of the nature of Sod. And he says, Kabbalah nikret Sod mi'atzmuto ve'inyano shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu hi. Kabbalah, Jewish mystical teachings, are called Sod, secret, because it's the revelation of the most essential nature of God. And then he goes on to say that you could be learning Kabbalah, like from books, but that's not necessarily Sod. It's only kind of the external, more technical understanding of the Kabbalah. It's not the Sod yet. The Sod is only revealed to someone who is super close to Hashem. Like, you don't reveal your secrets just to anyone. You reveal secrets only to those that are absolutely 100% connected to you in the deepest way. So in order for the Sod to be revealed to us, we need to be given over totally to Hashem and in a state of yichud, of extreme closeness to Hashem. And that, he says, is related to the level that we have Ahavat Hashem, that we have a total love for Hashem, that we're willing to give ourselves for Hashem, to sacrifice for Hashem. And then he goes off on an interesting side topic, which I want to mention. And he says, and therefore, a person who really has that love for Hashem should be pained when seeing other people not keeping the Torah. Like, for example, Jews driving on Shabbos should cause them real pain, as though the same way they would feel pain if a person did something that injurious to yourself. You would feel pain. So if you see someone who's doing something which you know is against Hashem's will, you should feel pain because you feel one with Hashem. And then he says the following thing, which is worthy of its own deep discussion. He says, Lo shit koteri mo. That doesn't mean that you should go out and get into an argument with that person who's driving on Shabbos. Ki adraba, the opposite. Hatochachat tzricha liot b'chinat ocheach tochiach et amitecha. It says in the Torah about rebuke, you should rebuke your friend. And there's a lot of interpretations about that, which we won't go into, but he explains it the following way. Shagam b'shal shata mochicho yeh divarecha kamosha medabrim la'amitecha u'lachavirecha. Even when you're rebuking someone, you should do it in a way that it's clear that you're speaking to your friend and to your beloved one. But if it doesn't cause you pain to see Chilul Shabbat, for example, that's a sign that you're not yet one with Hashem. So we learn here a few important principles, both Bein Adam L'Makom and Bein Adam L'Chaviro, both in terms of our relationship with Hashem and our relationship with other people. In our relationship with Hashem, if we want to really understand the deepest meanings of Kabbalah, the secret meanings of Kabbalah, then it's not enough to just become proficient in translating the Aramaic of the Zohar or memorizing the charts about the Sfirot and the Partzufim and the worlds that are in the Ari. We need to approach those texts as though we're chavrusas with Hashem, and then Hashem will reveal the inner meaning of them, which then may go back to what we spoke about last week, which he spoke about in Parshat Bo, that then Hashem will reveal that which is really relevant to me personally in a deep way, and not only the general meaning of the Kabbalistic text, but also the secret meaning. But on the personal level, interpersonal level, and we learn here also that the Rebbe says that when you are in a situation where you need to give rebuke, and you should feel the need to give rebuke because you should be pained by those actions that are against the Torah, because you feel one with Hashem, and it pains Hashem that his children are not following his instructions, which are for their own good. But if you are going to act on that, you have to do it from a place of love, and a place of knowing that you're one with the other person as well. They're all Am Yisrael, part of the Shekhinah, Evarei HaShekhinah. like the Rebbe himself in Warsaw, where he was the head of the organization to prevent Chilul Shabbat by storekeepers and whatnot, and they said they couldn't stand up to him. He was so full of love that they couldn't really disagree with him, as opposed to some of the other rabbis who had been involved in that would give harsh tochacha, and the storekeepers just would turn away from them. But the Rebbe was so full of love when he spoke to them that they found it very hard to turn down his requests to keep Shabbos. Or the famous story of Rav Aryeh Levine, as that's all, the great tzaddik of Jerusalem, that he would come to visit prisoners that were being held by the British on Shabbat, and they would see him coming and swallow their cigarettes so as not to cause him any harm, because they knew how much he loved them and how much he would be pained by seeing them violating Shabbat. So may we have good tidings on the international, national, personal, spiritual, interpersonal levels, and have good things, and only be close to Hashem and close to all of Am Yisrael, and be zocha, be meritorious to come to the true secrets of the Torah, the inner dimension of the Kabbalah. Kol Tuv, Shabbat Shalom.